Good morning, dear students. How are you? Beta, today we will discuss RTOE worksheet 45 and in which we will discuss about parenchyma. As you know, we are already discussing about your chapter tissue, and today in this worksheet we will discuss simple permanent tissue, that is parenchyma. Okay. In our previous worksheet we studied about the meristematic tissue. Okay. In continuation of that, today we will discuss about simple permanent tissues. So, what happens to the cell formed by meristematic tissue in the plants? Cell produced by meristematic tissue are initially similar to meristematic itself, but after a particular cell division, some of these cells lost their ability to divide. Beta, the tissue formed by the meristematic tissues, they are almost similar. Cells produced by the meristematic tissue are initially similar, but after some time they lost their ability to divide, and they become permanent, and these cells undergo the process of differentiation, after which they form permanent tissue or become the component of permanent tissue. So initially, the cells of meristematic tissues are similar to the meristems itself, right? But after some time, after a particular cell division, they lost their ability to divide. And when they lost their ability to divide, these cells undergo the process of differentiation, after which they form permanent tissue. Okay, what is cell differentiation? It is a complex process in which the simple cell grow, mature, and change its characteristics slowly and attain the ability to perform specialized function in an organisms. Means cell differentiation is a complex process in which a simple cell grow, then mature, and then change its characteristics actually slowly and attain the ability to perform specialized function in an organism, and that is why, and this process is called as cell differentiation. And this is, and through this process the permanent tissues are formed in the plant, and these permanent tissue are of two types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue are made up from single type of cell, whereas the complex permanent tissue, they are made up of different types of cells. Okay. Now let's study about the simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue are of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. But in our worksheet today we will discuss only about our parenchyma. Okay. They are, see, they are they are form a basic packing of the cell in the plant and are called packing tissues. Okay, these permanent tissues, they are the basic packing of the cell of a cell in the plant, so they are called as a packing tissue. And permanent cells are usually found in the inner layer. It's very important where they found in the inner layer of the leaves, main filling in the cortex of the stem and root, right? So basically they are found in the inner layer of the leaf and stem and root. In this cell, its cells are very important. Permanent cells, parenchyma cells are living and have thin cell wall. These cells have large centrally located vacuole and that store water and food. Again, vacuole is there which is very large and it stores food and water. Generally, these cells loosely packed and have large intercellular spaces, and it provide basic support to the plant. See, the space between the cell is called as a intra and the space between the two cells is known as intercellular spaces. So these are the intercellular spaces. Okay, so these cells are loosely packed and have large intercellular spaces as it provide basic support to the plant. The main function of this parenchyma is to provide basic support to the plants. Now coming to the type of parenchyma, we have two types of parenchyma. One is chlorenchyma and another is erenchyma. Chlorenchyma, in some plant the parenchyma is called chlorenchyma because of the presence of chlorophyll as it performs the process of photosynthesis. Right? The process of photosynthesis is occur in the chlorenchyma because of the presence of chlorophyll. Okay? See, this is the structure of your chlorenchyma. And here we have erenchyma. It is another type of parenchyma tissue found in the aquatic plant because of the presence of air spaces in them. This tissue or floats on the surface of the water. That is why they are called as parenchyma. So it's another type of parenchyma tissue found in aquatic plants, and these cells have a large air spaces in them which provide buoyancy. Buoyancy means it floats on the surface of water because of the presence of air spaces in them. Okay, to the plant to keep them float. Okay, so see, this air spaces is there in between the parenchyma, right? So this is all about your today's worksheet. Let's do practice exercise. We have first, what are the permanent tissue and name their type. Permanent tissue are those tissue which have lost their ability to divide and got permanent function. Okay, so permanent tissues are those tissue which lose their ability to divide. Okay, they are called as permanent tissue and perform a specific function. Okay, and next part is name their type. They are two types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue, and you can write this also. This is the answer of your first question. What is cell differentiation? This is the answer of your second question. This is cell differentiation. It's a complex process in which simple cell grow, mature, changes its characteristics slowly and attain the ability to perform specialized function in an organism. This process is known as cell differentiation. Till here you can write. List the two features of parenchyma tissue and what are their main function. See, you can write the features of parenchyma from here. They are living cells and have thin cell wall. You can write these cells are largely centrally located vacuole that store food and water, right? And then we have what are their function. So you can write these cells are loosely packed. These are the you can write their functions. Main function, this is the same. You can write from here. They provide. See, we have this two features of parenchyma. You can write this. These are living cells and have thin cell wall, and these cells are largely centrally located and have vacuole that store food and water, right? And next we have their basic function. You can write this. They provide the basic support to the plant, and also they have the centrally located vacuole which store water and food. This is the answer of your third question. Where are parenchyma tissues found in the plant? Okay, parenchyma tissues are found in the plant in the inner layer of the, you can write this answer from here, in the inner layer of the leaves and main filling of the cortex of the stem and root, right? And why are they called as a packing tissue? So this is the answer. They are the basic packing cell of the plant, and so that is why they are called as packing tissue. This is the answer of your fourth question. So this is all about your today's worksheet. I hope you understand it. So do your work, like video, share with your friends, and subscribe the channel. Thank you, bache. Take care.